Hi, I'm Dr. Vigneshkumar, and today's presentation topic is digital twin approach for the ergonomic evaluation of vertical formwork operations in construction. Work-related musculoskeletal disorders contribute to non-fatal occupational injuries to the workers in construction industries. So, construction workers frequently suffer from such disorders, such as back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and etc., due to their physical demand of construction activities involving awkward postures, long working hours, and so on. And statistics reported that a number of workers worldwide suffer from such disorders in construction industry, which cause them to lose job site working days. Apart from that, this also result in permanent impairment and places significant financial strains on the construction industry. So compared to other construction activities, formwork activities requires a lot of physical demands and have a high prevalence of ergonomic risks. So carpenters are frequently involved in or associated with formwork activities, and they are often in charge of assembling formwork panels, and they bend their knees, squat during their jobs. So they are in a high level of risks during formwork activities. So injuries like they face, which is wrist, hand, shoulders, are the most frequently sustained by the carpenters, and they have a high prevalence of spine and strains. So, determining the workers' postures and workload is the first step in reducing their negative influence. Generally, manual observations are used for this. However, such methods are time consuming and subjective to deliver accurate evaluations. So, to overcome these challenges in the era of construction 4.0, developing measuring tools such as IMU and other advanced methods have been proposed. However, such methods or techniques have a negative impact on the productivity, which could cause uncomfortable and irritates among the workers because when they due to the when sensors that are attached to their bodies. So ergonomics. So for this particular innovative uh, uh, recently developed advanced tools, so they need sensors which has to be attached over the worker's body in order to analyze the analyze the risks. So this is quite difficult as they face some of the issues that I have mentioned. So, in this particular study, we proposed a digital twin approach for the ergonomic assessment of vertical formwork operations focused on improving the health and well-being of the construction workers. So, digital twin, it is a collection of virtual information models which is intended to completely represent an existing physical product. So it is creating a digital replica of a physical object. So in the right hand side image, you could see that virtual model and physical worker who is there in the actual site, and digital twin is the exact replica of the physical product. And there is a which connects through the data and the information among them. So, in past decades, these digital twin methods have been used rapidly in many domains, particularly in manufacturing. And coming to construction industry as well, such methods or such technology has been adopted, but it is very limited when we talk about digital twin for ergonomic risk assessment. So in this study, we proposed this digital twin approach in order to uh, find out the benefits or of this particular method. So coming to the methodology part, so this present study used manual and video recording to collect field data. So the study was performed on commercial construction projects in northeastern India, and at the time of the study, the workers were involved in vertical formwork operations such as panel assembly and panel erection using steel formwork systems. And the workers' task was to assemble the formwork panels, which we can see in the left hand side. They are assembling and they are lifting it to the actual area, uh, and place it manually or erect it manually around the rebar, and lock them with bolt and nut, which can be seen in the right hand side image. And the workers erecting formwork panels around the rebar. It's like the carrying the entire the work formwork panel. It have it's almost it weighed around 108 kilograms, and this was gathered from the site supervisors during observation. And we observed that the workers mostly use their upper part and were involved in repetitive nature of the work and awkward postures. So once the manual observations was performed, then we used a camera in order to capture the working cycle positions while performing the workers' routine tasks. So then the recorded videos were transferred to the computer following the observational methods, and some selected videos we have taken, and we divided the postures like divided the video into significant uh, different segments, yeah, to select the significant postures for the analysis. So these are the postures that we have selected, and the reason behind selecting this posture was, the workers were repeatedly using the same postures when lifting the former panels throughout their task. So then these postures, once we have selected, this was transferred to the CATIA software to perform simulations and risk assessment. So CATIA, it is a digital human modeling software with which replicates the real working environment for the worker's task. So the simulation was performed based on following essential steps. So setting up the virtual environment that replicates the same workplace, then creating a DHM for an actual workers, data implementation and operations defining whenever it is necessary, and finally we run the simulation. So, as previously mentioned, during formwork operations, workers use their upper body parts, and hence RULA was a suitable method for ergonomic study. And RULA, it is already integrated with the DHM module, and the postural and biomechanical load are considered by the RULA ergonomic assessment tool. So the final RULA scores are also represents the risks for the evaluated job task. So the ruler scores ranges between 1 and 7, and the cut points. So level of the ruler are as follows. So score 1 and 2 is acceptable, and 3 to 4 is further investigation and change may be needed, and 5 to 6 further investigation and change soon, and 7 indicates the investigate and implement change immediately. So coming to the results, so the studies revealed that the postures were awkward and the workers were at a high risk of developing disorders. So all the postures one and two, one, two, and 3 have a score of 7, overall score of 7, and it has high risk level, and actions has to be taken immediately and investigate and changes the working postures. And so coming to the posture, ruler score for posture 1, it could be seen that the values of like neck, trunk, or the wrist and arms are the highly, no, highly risk of work disorders. And coming to the posture 2, and it could be seen that neck, trunk, and also wrist and arm are the highly affected, like highly developed disorders, body parts which could be affected. And also here in posture 3, it could be seen that the wrist and arm are highly affected body from. So overall we can say that a high risk of disorders in the trunk, neck, wrist and arm are the are found to be at high risk. So, based on the study findings, we recommended some of the practices followed by the literatures, and anticipated that we anticipate that such practices could aid in preventing disorders that occur during formwork operations. So, first, construction organizations should try to minimize lifting the overreaching requirements for their formwork workers by providing lifting devices such as including hoist and hand tools. And to reduce disorders, former manufacturers should provide handles or grips into former components without unnecessarily increasing the weight. And manufacturers should design ergonomic tools to eliminate the need for farm workers to outreach and bend. So, for example, we can say extension clamps could also be included in the tools to allow the users to do these activities with stand up and without elevating their hands. And to avoid a repetitive task, the rotations among the workers should be arranged. And the research team also observed on the job site that employers frequently allocate farm workers on other or like more tasks had also been given to the farm workers, which should be avoided. And this is uncommon. So, coming to the conclusions, we believe that the recommendations are expected to minimize the disorders. And coming to the limitations, only a small number of projects were selected, and limited locations are one of the main drawbacks. And future research is also required to estimate the risks MSD, including studies involving different form types such as traditional aluminum and modular construction sites and other ergonomic assessment approaches such as ray bar, so the entire body which also includes the leg part should also be considered. So overall we could say that digital twin approach is the it's the best method to assess the ergonomics in construction activities, which also address the previously mentioned some of the challenges that we discussed. Thank you.